Yeah, Randy's not coming tonight. Okay, we ready, everybody? IT says we're good. We're good to go. Okay, it is 6:01. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you please call roll?
Commissioner Dietrich,
Here.
Commissioner Long,
Here.
Commissioner Madrid, Vice Chair Thomas,
Here.
and Chair Ledoux.
And I am here. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ben, do you want to read us on that? All right, thanks, Ben. We are going to do something tonight that I don't think I've had the pleasure of doing yet. Item number 4, presentations. We actually have a presentation tonight. So, Philip Southard, Public Information and Legislative Affairs Office, would you please join us at the podium?
Ready to go. Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Philip Southard, I'm the city's Public Information and Legislative Affairs Officer, and excited to give you tonight a short presentation on Menifee TV. We have a presentation we'll pull up real quick. All right, so what is Menifee TV? Menifee TV is our new government access channel that will be dedicated to sharing meaningful and relevant content for our residents here in the city. We're dedicated to delivering quality local programming, public meetings, and service announcements. And the majority of our funding will come from our franchise agreements with the local cable operators here in the city. This Menifee TV is a collaborative effort between the city's communications division and our IT department. So Patrick and Peter here in the booth, along with my team, are working together to make sure that that content is getting pushed out to our residents and that it's relevant and timely. So just a few things I want to highlight about our channel that can kind of make it stand out. We're going to be the first PEG channel in the region to be broadcast in HD, and that's through Spectrum 1301. We're also one of the first cities in the county to provide County of Riverside content. So we're doing that through a cloud-based system. That's a service that some of our residents here in the city aren't getting through the county, so we're able to share their meetings and some of their content as well. So it's a value added for our service here. All of our content on Menifee TV is broadcast in closed captioning, so all of what I'm saying now is being translated into both closed captioning for English and in Spanish. So that's a big value for us here. And our programming list of our schedule is available at cityofmenifee.us/Menifee TV on the website. And it can be live broadcast there as well. So again, just a recap of what we're going to be displaying on our channel. We're going to obviously meetings like our Planning Commission, City Council will be showed live and rebroadcast. We're always producing original Menifee TV content. So as we develop that programming, it will be inserted in the channel there. Our public service announcements, so working in collaboration with our local partners as well as our state and federal partners, putting out content that way as well. And then just again, city news, information, events. We use a system that actually pulls our social media onto the channel. It converts our Facebook and Instagram accounts into a template that's able to be showed on the widescreen format on TV. So there's a lot of innovative tools that we're using to ensure that we're, again, being timely with our content on the channel. So where can residents watch Menifee TV? Well, there's a few different options. So right now, Spectrum 1301 for our Spectrum customers. Now, Spectrum is still phasing in customers. So that is a phased launch. So if you're a Spectrum customer and you don't see that channel in your listing, just know that is coming, and we expect all customers to be brought on board in the next 90 days. Customers for Frontier, our channel is available on channel 25. And then our channel is also available to be live streamed through the city website, again, at citymenifee.us/Menifee TV. We are in the process of working with MediaCom. That's our last provider here in the city. They've come in, they've checked out our equipment. So we're hoping that we'll be on board with them in the very near future as well. And then we're also in the process of adding this to the City Menifee app. So when you go to the City Menifee app, you will be able to see that icon and go directly to our channel from there as well. So with that, we'll just do a short little preview of what you'll see on Menifee TV. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Are we going to be getting that out through our city's social media so people
We've been doing a promotion all this week, so we've been showcasing and highlighting different videos that we put together. I believe the one today we did with Waste Management, one of our community partners here, talking about our upcoming waste event that we have coming up in April. So you'll be seeing that throughout the week, and then again, once Spectrum's on board, we'll do another promotion. But you'll be seeing definitely a lot of Menifee TV going on in the near future.
Awesome, fantastic. And we're pushing out the channels that people can access it on Spectrum and
Correct, and we
Frontier.
are live broadcasting now. So, and we will continue to be live streamed on YouTube, just as we've always been. But now we're just adding all of these other different channels
Very good.
where residents can see our content, see our
Cool,
meetings.
thank you. Any other questions?
Great program. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, moving on in our meeting tonight, item number 5, agenda approval. Are there any modifications to the agenda tonight?
There are none, Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Can I please ask the commission for approval of tonight's agenda? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. Let's see. Okay. We're not gonna show the results of that on the screen, right? We're just gonna move on. Do we need to show the results of that or no? Okay. Okay, good. All right, item number 6, public comments. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak on non-agendized items tonight?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. All right, approval of the minutes. I'd like to ask the Planning Commission for approval of the March 8th, 2023 minutes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, okay. All right, item number 8, consent calendar. We have nothing on our consent calendar tonight. We'll move on to item number 9, our public hearing items for the night. 9.1 Bradley Road, Monopine Wireless Communication Facility. This is item 9.1. Could the planning manager please introduce this item?
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. The item before you tonight will be presented by Associate Planner Brandon Cleary, okay?
Thank you, Orlando. Good evening, Chair Ledoux and Commissioners. The project before you is the Bradley Road Monopine Wireless Communication Facility. Oh, can we also get the, thank you. Bradley Road Monopine Wireless Communication Facility, conditional use permit PLN 22-0020 and plot plan PLN 22-0019. The project is located on the northwest corner of Bradley Road and Corson Avenue. The cell tower itself will be placed in the lower southwest corner of the property just north of the Paloma Valley High School. The general plan designation for this property is 2.1 to 5 residential dwelling units per acre with the zoning designation of low density residential. In this zone, a new standalone wireless communication facility requires a conditional use permit and is also subject to the Chapter 9.290 Wireless Communication Facilities section of the Municipal Code. The proposed project will include a 70-foot monopine unmanned wireless communication facility with a 600 square foot CMU block wall enclosure. And I'd like to note that the original proposal did include a wrought iron fence around the enclosure, but in discussions with the applicant, we have added a condition to exchange that for a block wall. Additionally, the setbacks for the LDR2 zone require 15 feet for the front, 10 feet for the rear, 5 for the sides or the interior side, and 15 for the corner side. The setbacks for the cell tower, it meets or exceeds these setbacks, with the front being 539 feet, the rear being 40, 271 for the north side, and 15 feet for the south side, with also the nearest house to the cell tower is 523 feet to the northwest. As a part of the project, the applicant proposes 3 36-inch box Canary Island pine trees, 21 15-gallon coast rosemary bushes, and 10 15-gallon climbing vines that will surround the 8-foot tall CMU block wall for a total of 537 square feet of landscaping. The applicant provided propagation maps showing the coverage of the existing conditions with the cell tower not there, and then the proposed conditions if the cell tower were to be approved. The goal is to increase the green or in-building coverage, and as you can see on the left picture, the red dot is the cell tower location, and there's limited in-building coverage without the cell tower there. There was an alternative sites analysis conducted, which analyzed 3 alternative sites within a 1-mile radius. There are 2 additional cell towers on Hahn Road to the east, and 1 cell tower to the west. All are beyond 0.8 miles away, limiting the ability to co-locate onto an existing cell tower. I also just had 2 different phone calls with members of the public, one with a property owner and one with the Meadow Run HOA representative, which is a community across the street to the east, brand new tract. They are both within the 400-foot noticing radius and had concerns regarding the health and proximity to the Paloma Valley High School in regards to the cell tower. Staff recommends determining the project exempt from CEQA pursuant to Section 15303, new construction or conversion of small structures, and adopting a Planning Commission resolution approving plot plan number PLN 22-0019 and major conditional use permit number PLN 22-0020, subject to the conditions of approval and based on the findings and conclusions incorporated in the staff report and resolutions. And this concludes staff's presentation. We are available for any questions, as is the applicant.
Great, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it, good presentation. Quick question, you said you had conversations with the HOA across the street. What was the content of those conversations?
Mainly, he was representing a couple of the homeowners within that community, and they had concerns about the health impacts from just cell towers and the signals, and then the proximity to Paloma Valley High School, similar with the property owner that was also within the 400 feet.
How did we respond to that?
I provided information on items that we could deem a public health and safety issue versus ones that aren't necessarily within our purview as a local government agency.
Okay, Ty?
Thank you, Chair. And I just wanted to remind our commission and members of the public that the FCC has issued regulations regarding these cell towers, and it does limit the information or issues that we can address in approving or denying these cell towers. And one of the issues we cannot address that the FCC has determined is safe is health issues or health impacts. So therefore, I just want to make sure that we do not discuss those health impacts as a part of this deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you. Obviously, that's always a concern whenever these come up, but it's important for everyone to know that it's not something that we are allowed to consider when these go up. So, are there any other questions that we have for the staff?
Yes.
Joe, will you talk into your mic, please? Thanks.
Currently, do we have any regulations, requirements for the location of the communication towers, proximity to schools, hospital, or a major facility? Do we have any regulation?
We do not currently have any regulations for the proximity to those types of uses.
What is the zoning for this particular parcel?
It's low-density residential -2, which is your typical tract development type of zoning.
And it's currently vacant, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the owner has the option of improving the lot into a residential unit. Is it possible?
That is correct. And we had the applicant locate the cell tower in a location where it wouldn't impact the development of the remainder of the parcel.
But for the design of the residential unit, it will be affected by the presence of the tower. Is that?
I don't believe the residents would be impacted by the location of the cell tower because they have the remainder of the parcel to develop.
For adjacent parcels, are they the one on the west and the one northwest and the one north? Are they all residential?
Those are all residentially zoned. I believe the one immediately west is vacant, and then the one with the nearest residential house, which is roughly over 500 feet away, has a house on it with some other ancillary structures. And then the property to the north is also vacant.
And the proposed site is right across a high school, is that correct?
That is correct.
And on the map, it shows a road between the two properties, the school and the subject lot, Corson Avenue. Apparently, right now there is a gate at the entrance so it's being used primarily by the high school. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is it going to be used for construction or for accessibility to the subject facility?
No, there is an existing dirt road that will be accessed from Bradley Road that'll lead it to the cell tower. It kind of goes up to the north a little bit and then redirects to the east towards the center of the parcel.
Okay, so the route to the access route is going to be diagonal from Bradley to the subject facility. In the future, if there's the owner of the property decides to improve the lot to a residential with a residential unit, would the route, for maintenance purpose, for future operation, would the route be affected?
Possibly. It would be on the owner and the cell tower owner to work out an agreement to relocate the proposed maintenance access route. Still staying on the property.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to direct your attention to the rendition, the proposed rendition of the tower. I drive by Han Road very often, and I always look at the one on Han Road nearby. This one looks much better, so that's one thing I would like to compliment for the way you designed the camouflage for the tower. Mm-hmm. The height of the tower might be an obstacle for aesthetic view because everything in the neighborhood, nothing is nothing is that high. So this one is going to stick out quite visibly. So in terms of aesthetic conformity, it does stick out. So it's not conforming to the neighborhood. Is that? Okay. I'm going to yield the floor to other.
Okay, thanks, Joe. So that sounds like a comment that we can talk about between us after we close the public hearing. Is something we can discuss, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Chris, did you have anything you want to say? Okay. Ben? Okay. I did have a couple of quick questions. Is Corson Avenue, is it a private street? I know it's used by the high school for the parking lot, and then it's also used by parents going in and out for games and stuff getting to the stadium.
It's not a public dedicated street, so it's just a private drive aisle for the high school. However, Corson does align with Corson to the west, which potentially could be the future alignment for a street, but since the high school is there, the likelihood of that ever getting dedicated is probably low.
Okay, that was going to be my thought. As I looked at this more, I know that, like I said, it's used by the high school. It's used by students going in and out of the parking. So you don't anticipate, or we don't anticipate as a city, that is going to actually become a street that could go through to the west and possibly connect to, what is that, Murphy Lane, and then even further to the west to Evans.
Not at this time. It would require dedication from the high school.
Okay.
So it would, unless the high school, did some type of development that would give us the ability to require that. But other than that, not at this point.
Would the current proposed location of this cell tower be in the way if we, if that were to ever happen? Like if we're kind of looking forward here and say maybe there is a possibility that Corson's going to go through, is this tower going to be in the way?
It will not. We planned ahead for that occurrence, so the 15-foot setback is from the future right-of-way dedication point.
Okay.
So it'll still be beyond, within the property if
Okay.
the road was dedicated.
Is that equivalent to the quote-unquote ultimate that we
that's correct.
normally talk about? Okay. So that's been factored in. So if this ever became a street, we could still build one there. We could still build a street there, and this is set back from that ultimate
That's correct, by 15 feet.
future. Okay, very good. Okay. I know Joe mentioned it already, the access easement from Bradley, it doesn't, I thought it did when I first initially looked at it. I thought it hooked up with the street that provides access to the new housing development to the east. I don't have that street name in front of me, but when I first looked at this, it looked like the access easement was kind of in line with that, but now that I look closer, it's not. It's actually south of that road, and then it goes in a little bit, and then it goes north, and then it cuts back. Is there any particular reason why that was done that way?
It was following an existing path that was used by vehicles in the past. It may not look that way on some of the aerials, but there were some tire paths that were marked there, so we used it to follow the existing one to impact the property less.
Got it, okay. And again, it was discussed earlier, if the property owner were to develop this with single-family homes or, whatever's allowed there, the easement, the access easement and actual physical access to the cell tower site would probably be in line with the streets that are proposed inside that future development.
Possibly, they'd have to take into the cell tower's location and design a path to it if they were to develop that property.
A lot of high school kids are walking and riding their bikes up and down that street to and from school. Is there a future sidewalk or driveway proposed to, it comes off of, it goes south off of, is that Holland from the light, but only 50 feet or so, and then it stops. Do we have future plans to continue that sidewalk up to the high school, or down to the high school, I should say?
Not at this time. The properties would be developed as development plans come in.
So the individual property owners would be responsible for the improvements there?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. And I'm glad to see that we changed that to a block wall and not a wrought iron fencing. That's good. Okay, that's all the questions I have for staff. We cover everything? Okay. Thank you. So at this, I'm sorry. Yeah, Joe, sorry, go ahead.
I I have a question. If you can turn to page 9, no, page 5. There's a drawing for the facility, and then let me see. Not this one. Next. I have this page.
The proposed site plan?
Oh, okay, right here. The top arrow shows proposed AT&T microwave antenna, up, pointing up, and then section A pointing down. So, is the proposed microwave antenna part of the facility?
I believe that is the direction at which some of the antennas will be facing, but the applicant is here if they want to provide further details on that.
Oh, okay. So, thank you.
We'll get to that right quick here. Anything else, Joe? Any other questions for staff?
That's all. Thank
Okay.
you.
Great. Okay. Ms. Kitzrow.
Thank you, Chair. Brandon alluded to it. I just wanted to clarify that there is a memo in your blue folders with modified conditions requiring the block wall, and then just some clarifications to the distances shown in your staff report for the setbacks.
Thank you. And thank you for calling it our blue folder.
Well, you're welcome. They're not red.
Okay, at this time, we should open the public hearing. It is 6:28 p.m. Madam Clerk, was this hearing legally noticed?
Yes, it was.
Okay, fantastic. And have we received any correspondence?
We have not.
Okay, thank you. All right, if the applicant is here, can you mind joining us at the podium? You guys look familiar.
Hello,
Okay,
commissioners, and thank you to planning for guiding us this entire way. You guys have been more than fantastic, and yeah.
So our names are, my name's Alicia Strassheim, this is Tyne Alleman. So we're representing AT&T for the proposed cell site.
thank you. My first question to you is, do you agree to all of the conditions of approval that have been put forth?
Yes, we do.
Fantastic, thank you, okay. Commissioners, do we have any questions directly for the applicant?
Right now, you submitted a list of equipments for future operation. Would equipment be changed or added or removed? And how often do you update your equipment?
So typically, we're not allowed to add any more antennas or anything that we put on our proposed planning drawings that we have that get approved. We sometimes do take away stuff off of our overall tower, so we try to over project it a little bit, so we typically never have as much equipment as possible. And regarding maintenance, we only do one time a month to start up the generator, which runs about for 5 to 10 minutes during the daytime. We try to follow what the city recommends for noise approval, and that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, and any upgrades to the tower would have to come back through planning. If it's increasing any of the amounts, that's what's approved. And then if it's just changing anything in regards to building permits, then we would be going through just through building department.
Okay, thank you. Cheryl, you're good?
I was going to share that exact information, that any changes or additional equipment would have to come back through the city.
It sounds like they've done this before. Okay. Joe, did you have more questions for the applicant?
Yes. On your list of equipments, I see 2 transformers, up transformer and 1 down transformer. I'm not sure how do they generate any sound or
So
certain level?
so there's a transformer, so it's a step up and step down transformer. This is in regards to, since the cell site is so far off the main road, power coming in has to be brought in at a higher number to basically step up to get to the site, and then it'll step back down to be at a usable level for us to use for the actual tower. It would be the same as any of the green boxes you see in front of your houses, the transformers, so. It's actually significantly smaller than that for one of the step up or step downs than like a traditional transformer you would see in front of your yard.
So no noise interference to nearby properties?
No more than what Southern California Edison transformer would. I don't even think those really make noise. Ours would be even less than that because it's even lower amount of power that's going through it than a traditional one.
Joe, are you good
For now, yes.
for now? Okay, good. Chris?
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd consider switching it to a eucalyptus rather than the pine. If you look around by the high school and other around there, it's all eucalyptus and some oak. So pine kind of.
Yeah, so we did look further into that, and we do agree with you, and we are willing to change it to eucalyptus from the bonopine.
That would be wonderful.
That's excellent. That's actually was supposed to be my next question. I hope.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, I hope you have, because the tower is going to be tall, obstructing view. So, and most of the properties are much lower. So I would hope that you consider planting more trees, tall trees, anything tall, just to give the background. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Anything else, Chris? No? Ben? No? Okay. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there any public comments on this item?
There are none.
Okay, anybody that would like to speak that's here today? Going. Okay. Okay, please, sirs, can you come up to the podium and state your name, please? You'll have 3 minutes, and the clerk is pretty stiff about that.
Okay, I don't think I'll take nearly that much time. My name is Ken Tooker. I'm a homeowner at the very west end of Menifee. My backyard looks in the Canyon Lake, but I've got a daughter who goes to high school, and I got another on the way. I'm retired. I was in the communications field for over 20 years. I built cell sites, fiber networks, and I just wanted to say something. You had some concerns about the power out on these sites. You need to look at it the other way. This little thing transmits as well as receives. If you've got a site closer to your phone, it doesn't put out as much power because it can't. Otherwise, it's going to cross talk with another site. Kind of like when you go around a hill and suddenly the radio station you're listening to suddenly blasts some Mexican station in, that you weren't listening to. It's the same idea. So the more cell sites you put in, you can reduce the power at the adjacent sites. So it'll help these. It'll help reduce the power at the other sites as well, besides putting more channels available, and it'll help the kids because they won't have as much power on their phones. And I can speak as a parent of a kid that goes to that school. Everybody has one of these damn things, and they're using them all the time.
Interesting perspective. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
And that's about it. I do have one thing about the design. Since it's adjacent to the high school, and it's going to be a block wall, maybe you might want to put the fence up so you can see behind that wall instead of having it blocked off where our kids want to play hooky or something, they go hop the wall. Just a thought.
Thank you.
That was all. That's all I
Okay.
had. Thank you.
Thank you. That is an interesting perspective there. Okay. In the Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing now. It is 6:30.
Actually, that's one more question.
Chris, we're not going to close the public hearing yet.
Oh,
We're,
well, go ahead.
we're not going to close the public hearing. You wanted to ask a
I
question?
was just gonna ask staff.
Oh, okay. So we should close the public hearing? Yes. Okay. So we will close the public hearing at 6:36. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna actually discuss this amongst ourselves now. So you're welcome to begin that.
Did you get any property owner response at all on this?
Not written response, just the phone calls I had with one of the property owners nearby and then the HOA representatives.
That was it?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can reopen the public hearing.
Okay, we'll have to do that. We'll have to reopen the public hearing. Okay, sir, we're going to reopen the public hearing at 6:37. If you'd like, please join us at the podium and state your name for us, please. Again, you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. My name is George Mulvey. I live in the property that's adjacent to this between Bradley and Holland. Couldn't think of it for a second. George Mulvey, lived there for the last 18, 20 months now as my neighbor here. The HOA was not aware of this until very late, and the only reason I found out was looking at 24/7 Menifee. So some of us are not aware of the changes that are going on. Having sat through the process of listening to the presentations made, my fears, my concerns are greatly aligned now. I think our concerns originally was it was going to be on Bradley. Now that it's going to be stepped back further toward into the high school, you know, it's not going to be that much of an eyesore. The other thing that addressing Commissioner Long's concern, it looks as if the tower itself will be very close to the lighting for the stadium, so it really won't be that much of an eyesore per se. And just want to say thank you for the opportunity of speaking. And Don, do you have anything you wanted to say? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, George. Appreciate it. We'll close the public meeting at 6:38. Okay, good. This is back on this side of the ropes. I did want to say that, at least on the record, that we've dealt with cell towers as a city before. We've come across situations where they weren't necessarily looked upon favorably, and then we were told by a judicial body that we had to go with it anyway. So we kind of, I think, want to avoid that again. So I'm kind of, on that note, that's for the main reason I'm in favor of this, approving this. So I just wanted to get that on the record. Any other thoughts or comments, Ben?
Yeah, I would just add on to that too. I don't think we've ever had a cell phone tower proposal before where we didn't get negative comments, where we only received positive comments towards the tower. So that would further aid in my decision to be in favor of this.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Good to hear from you. Okay, there is one motion for adoption.
Chair, if I could just make a quick comment. I know there was discussion by one of the commissioners about potentially changing the look of the tower. I just want to make sure there's a consensus with the commission that that's the way we want to go.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement.
If I may add, if that is part of your motion, if we can have the alternative design of the tower as a eucalyptus tree come back for staff review and approval, and then we'd also like to see an update to the landscape palette around the enclosure, because the plants proposed were pine to match the proposed pine tree, and so we just, for consistency's sake, want to make sure that we reevaluate all of that.
A good idea. So does that get read into the motion then?
Yes, so I believe your motion is to approve staff's recommended action to determine that the project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to section 15303, and that you will adopt the Planning Commission resolution approving plot plan number PLN 22-0019 and major conditional use permit number PLN 22-0020, subject to the conditions of approval, including those that were in your blue folders, and that staff will have the opportunity to review and approve the landscaping and the eucalyptus design. and based on the findings incorporated and conclusions in the staff report.
Thank you very much. I would like to move to do that.
I'll second that.
Okay. She's one of my favorites. Okay, we should be seeing the electronic vote now. Yep. All right, and that passes. Thank you very much. Thank you for the information. Okay, so we're going to move on now to item 10, discussion items. I don't think that we have any discussion items tonight. Everyone's favorite section of the meeting, the Community Development Director's comments.
Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. I want to remind you all that the Planning Commissioner Academy is next week. Your information is in your mailboxes, so before you leave here tonight, be sure to grab that information. And I don't have any other updates, but happy to answer any questions you may have.
I don't know if it's gone to your head or not, but just saying.
Is that rhetorical?
Maybe.
Okay.
We're all famous now that Menifee TV is live.
I do like that it's not just YouTube anymore. People can get the City of Menifee app and access it that way, and then they're on their TV through Spectrum and Frontier. That's very cool. So
I would think they'd want replays of the Planning Commission maybe daily. I'm not sure.
yeah, right.
I know it might be pretty popular.
It might be. We might be getting autographs out there.
That's right. Hold it together.
I'm sorry.
Hold it together.
Item number 12, Commissioner reports on committee activities. Anything? We haven't done MCAC yet? Oh.
Monday.
Yes, Chair. We had a meeting with the MCAC orientation program, going over all the organizations on the list requesting for funding. And the next meeting is going to be on February 27th for the hearing from our community organizations, and then we will decide how we're going to allocate the fund.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, when's the next meeting?
March.
March.
Yeah, tentatively.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am excited about the Planning Academy coming up next week. It's pretty much local this time, so yeah. Any future agenda items that we'd like to consider? Okay. All right, it is 6:44 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.